trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good to see everybody here tonight. Thank you for being here. Should have a short meeting. We will have roll call, please.
Commissioner Hughes.
Here.
Commissioner Mosier.
Here.
Commissioner Richardson.
Here.
Commissioner West.
Here.
Commissioner Stockton.
Here.
You've got the minutes in your packet from, I guess, the last city council meeting we had. You had a chance to look those over. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved. Second.
In discussion. That is for February 7th, 2022, and the workshop call meeting February 28th, 2022. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise, motion does carry. Jessica has now a report of our distributions.
Okay, January 2022 in the general fund, $9,693 was fuel. December gas bill, including the Board of Ed, of course, reimburses that amount. $1,550 to Caleb Workman. Hydrostatic services was for fire equipment. And then Cigna, $49,207.33. That's the employee and employer portions of health insurance. Page 2, Sweetwater Utility Board, $9,256. That's our stormwater payment for the month. And $6,594.54. These were garage doors at the street department for some of the doors that had been messed up, and we replaced those. That did come out of the building fund. Page 3, the library, we made our annual transfer for the budget appropriation of $134,000 to them. Page 4, there wasn't really anything particularly significant. Page 5, the employee and employer retirement amounts for TCRS, $18,089.60. In State Street Aid, we did pay some engineering fees for Cannon and Cannon, $1,209 for the surface transportation project, which is Hawkins and Linwood. Nothing significant in drug fund, nothing significant in the tourism fund. The library report is there if you'd like to look through that. And then we had some storage and relocation expenses for the home grant in Fund 125, $288.67. We'll talk about the home grant later on when we get to the bids. Solid waste collection, $22,229.53 was the garbage contract amount. Just keep in mind in April that amount changes, so we'll probably be looking at some type of increase due to the fuel changes. So every April there's an amendment on that. So we'll watch for that and report on it in that month.
But I'm sure that's due to the gas. Don't they have a standing thing as gas goes up?
Yeah, every April.
As gas is a problem for everybody right now. Okay. Do I hear a motion to accept these distributions?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
More discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise, motion does carry. I will now open a public hearing to take comments on 2 ordinances, both rezoning, approved by the Planning Commission. First is ordinance number 996 to rezone partials near Bellamy Store to residential. Is there anyone here to make a comment on this resolution? We went over this in a workshop. Does everybody realize what it is? Okay. Did I hear a motion? Well, no. Roll call vote.
This is just the public hearing.
Yeah, public hearing on this. Number 997 is ordinance also. Rezone property purchased at the Dinner Bell and behind it Is anyone here to make a comment on this? If not, the public hearing is now closed. We have a request from Knox Track Club and Sweetwater Kiwanis Club, David Black with the Knoxville Track Club, to request permission to hold a half marathon and 5K in partnership with the Sweetwater Kiwanis Club, October 1st, 2021. Dave, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Did I turn it on or off?
Yeah.
Pardon? I turned it off. Okay, how about that? All right, sorry about that. So yeah, I'm David Black with the Knoxville Track Club. I want to open by saying thank you so much for the race that we did last year. I don't know how years went by without me coming back to a meeting to say thank you. I've been in touch with the city here. We did reach out about doing one again this year, moving it to the fall instead of the spring, because our Knoxville Marathon is in the spring as it normally would be. And we found out that the Kiwanis Club was looking that they were doing a 5K that they typically do in the fall. So we said, well, hey, what about a partnership? And Jessica helped kind of merge us together. And so what we would like to do is work with them and then do a half marathon this time and a 5K. We're not going to do the full marathon this time. We may bring it back in the future as it goes on, but we wanted to kind of, focus it down to that distance that so many people go after. A lot of people really like that distance. So we want to request permission for that. And then I did, after that, I guess, or I can do it now, we did a survey of our guests that had participated in our race last year. And I want to read a few of those if y'all don't mind, and I will try to keep the meeting short. My dad's a preacher, so be warned. Throw the gavel at me if you have to. But from my standpoint, it was just amazing to work with your town. Like I just everything about it, was just absolutely fantastic. From the city leaders on down to the community people, folks offering to help out, and then of course the day that we had the race last year, it was an absolute monsoon. Jessica was sending me texts from some streets. She was, just so you know, these roads would actually be closed to cars right now. Well, we're going to try to run through them. So, and it worked out. Yeah, and they did. But yeah, so I marked a few of them. If y'all don't mind, I'll just read a few of them here. It rained the whole time, but it was invigorating. The Sweetwater folks didn't let it get them down. They turned the weather into a positive. I feel I would do it again. The town was so incredible, welcoming, and sweet. They had everyone's name on a poster hanging at the high school. Wet, windy, and wonderful all at the same time. Sweetwater residents were great hosts for this event. I liked the course. Course and traffic control were excellent. I recommend keeping this on the KTC schedule. It was a beautiful area for a run. Sweetwater residents loved the rain to come out, braved the rain to come out and support. And I'm telling you guys, that's just a few so far. But it blew my mind. We were out here at 5 o'clock in the morning and unloaded a U-Haul, and there was a crew of 20 or more people. Some were city workers, some were volunteers, just folks let's help. And man, we got that truck unloaded so quick, it was insane. And I wouldn't have thought that's the kind of day we expect volunteers to be like, oh, I'm sorry, my kid's sick, I'm not going to make it. Let's see, I really enjoyed the course design. The weather played a big role, but overall, even with the hard downpour, this was one of the best races I've ever participated in, not just by KTC. Maybe KTC could come over to Morristown area for a 5K or half. Not telling you that to make you approve our next event, but I thought that was good. That speaks a lot when some of these came down. Another comment, he's from Nashville, the next one here. Great job navigating a tricky landscape. I know folks who drove down from Nashville to do this, well done. My family was glad that so many shops in town were open, the coffee shop, antique shopping that they did while I ran. And we want to thank you for that too, because a lot of y'all I know opened on days you weren't normally open, or definitely earlier than you normally would. Which this year we're asking for a Saturday instead of a Sunday, so that may change some of that. Lots of energy for a small town race, and it just goes on and on. Here's one that says it was a good race, both for the course to do and in the presence of police, fire, EMS teams on hand for assistance. I would do the full marathon distance in the future. Keep this race and location an annual. And I may have sent this to you, Jessica, and I may send it again just so you've got it, and if any of y'all want to see it. It just, so many positive comments, and that just speaks volumes, I think, for the people of this town. You guys did a great job. So from our heart, seriously, thank you so much, for everything that you did and run through the subdivisions. Was just, we had a mix of the old and the new subdivisions, and it was truly fantastic. So that's that on that. We are looking at doing our event October 1st is what we're requesting. Like I said, partnering up with the Kiwanis Club, and so I'll open up to any questions that you guys have at this time.
Okay, thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Good report.
Thanks.
Do I hear a motion, we accept this request?
I make a motion to accept.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise? Welcome October 1st.
Thank you so much.
Okay. In old business, we just had ordinance number 996. Is there a motion to accept ordinance number 996? Roll call, please.
I make a motion for acceptance of ordinance 996 as submitted by planning commission.
Second.
Any discussion? Not? Roll call.
Commissioner Hughes,
Aye.
Commissioner Mosier,
Aye.
Commissioner Richardson,
Aye.
Commissioner West, Commissioner Stockton.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion for ordinance number 997 to amend the zoning map?
I make a motion to approve ordinance 997 stated.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hughes,
Aye.
Commissioner Mosier,
Aye.
Commissioner Richardson,
Aye.
Commissioner West, Commissioner Stockton.
Aye.
Motion carries. Under new business, we have a resolution to adopt the Monroe County Hazardous Mitigation Plan, which we voted on some time ago, but they requested that we pass a resolution to reflect that vote. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, you get that out right, Jess?
Yes.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise, motion does carry. We reviewed the capital improvement plan for 2023-27 through 27 in the workshop. If you are ready, we can pass this tonight, or we can wait till the April meeting and still stay in compliance with the budget calendar. Do you want any more discussion on it, or would you like to vote tonight? Everybody's pretty happy with it, right? I mean, there's no change. Let's vote tonight. I hear a motion.
I'll make the motion. Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion does carry. Commissioner Richardson has a promotion to make at this time.
I put it in the form of a motion to move Rob Wilson from part-time firefighter to fill the vacancy that we authorized in February as full-time firefighter.
I hear a motion to accept Rob Wilson to full-time.
Second that.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion does carry. Finally, we have one more full building on the CDBG home grant project. We advertised and had one response for the bid. This bid to demolish and construct the last home on Blair Avenue. And Jessica, we have a bid.
Oh, we have a bid. So the first time we bid the first 3 houses that we did for the home grant, which is a 100% grant, we pay no match on it. Those were $90,000 homes. So when we took bids this time, that same contractor was not able to do it because he had just taken a housing authority project in Monroe City that's going to take him the rest of the year, and this grant expires at the end of December. The bid the only bid we received came in at $142,680, which is around $42,680 more than what we have budget for in the home grant. So we have a couple of decisions here. We can table this, talk about it in a workshop. We can go ahead and vote to accept the bid and authorize East Tennessee Development District to go back and negotiate with him, because there are a few things on the bid that we could remove. For example, there's a porch and a deck that are not required for us to build, that we just put on for the other people on the house, so we could ask him to give us a bid without those 2 things on it and see if that would get us any closer to breaking even. And the other option is we can ask the state if they have any more money they want to throw our way. The final option would be for the city to decide to just eat the difference. The only reason I would say maybe possibly consider that this time is because we can use our ARPA money for that. So we do have a little bit extra in that ARPA budget that is not necessarily assigned anywhere yet. So if we wanted to give this person the exact same home that all the rest of them on that block had, we could go ahead and just eat the overage and use ARPA money. So I realize those are 4 things thrown at you that we didn't have in time to talk about at the workshop, so if you all wanna table this for the workshop, we can. I would say, we have to have this home fully constructed and ready for the person to move in by the end of December. Yes, sir?
Why do we even have to build it?
We don't. We could say we told them we were gonna do 8 homes. This is the 7th home. The 8th one only has to have an HVAC unit. So the state would probably let us get away with not doing that last one. We can turn the money back in that's left and say we're not gonna finish this out because we don't have enough money to build this home. They do tend to frown on that if you ever apply for it again later, so I do think there could be a penalty to us in the long run if we decided to do that, but it is an option.
Does this person need the home as much as the other ones? Because what I'm thinking about is pretty sad.
In mine and Sonia's opinion, the home is needed more than anyone else on the block, but because she's a single female living alone, it actually penalized her in the ranking, because the more people who live in the home, the more points you get, so you're put higher on the priority list. Her home has a hole in the ceiling, and she has gone without heat 2 winters in a row because she didn't have,
If you're talking about
she had a
look,
hole in her ceiling.
you're talking about look, it's the worst one that was up there,
Yes.
still is. Let me ask a question. Is this one, does she have a choice between a modular and a stake built?
That's a very good question, Commissioner West. She actually requested a modular home. She wanted a mobile home, but because of the way the lot lays, we would have to turn the mobile home in shotgun, John, or sideways, which is what we don't allow according to our own code to happen. So I guess we could go back to the drawing board and say maybe we're gonna put a mobile home in instead, and since it's the last one on the block, allow it to be turned a different way than what we normally do with it.
I ask this question this way. Does the utility not have an easement down through there,
They do.
that, on the back side of that lot?
I can't remember what side of the lot it is, but there is a utility easement.
I just wonder if the utility might donate a little of their land, and that thing could be turned around the other way.
That's a great suggestion.
You
Trying to
really
think how-
complimenting me tonight.
I'm trying to remember how big that easement is down through there. If you all are okay with it, let's put this on the workshop in March, and I'll try and have an answer to that. And I may even see if I can get Mitch from East Tennessee Development District to come down and kind of give us, I would really like to complete that block if we can.
Yeah.
Is there any size requirements on the homes or anything? I mean, because
No, but these homes are only 900 square feet, so honestly, they're about as small as we could probably build. And as Sam has told us a million times before, the smaller the square footage, the higher per square footage cost is. So, I mean, I do think taking the porch and the deck off might enable it to save. I don't think it's going to cut $42,000 though. But also, I mean, we knew a few months ago when we were having to bid this house out, we were like, oh no, the construction prices are going to, you know. And it took us a long time to get the last people relocated because there was a supply chain issue with getting all the lumber and everything in, so we had to pay for them to be in another home for a longer period of time. So there's a chance the state will say, hey, we're getting all this ARPA money too, maybe we can shuffle a little bit more to you, but they've already extended the grant contract for us, so I don't know that they'll be willing to do that, but I can always, I mean, they're not gonna eat me, I can ask them and see.
If we could table it, I'd like to talk to Mitch, on a couple options as well. And then John and I'll look and see what planning aspect may have to be adjusted, on it.
Okay, we'll put it on the March 20th workshop.
That's okay.
Well, if we get a modular home, it'd be a lot better, quicker too.
I bet the modular home probably higher than stick built.
We did not price the modular home that she asked for. I think she only has to have a 2-bedroom, so it's a smaller modular home. It is a very narrow lot though, so I don't know even with the utility easement, it's gonna be big enough to turn it the right way, so it may still come back to our people and allow them to turn it sideways, but we can look at it. And I'll bring more information to the workshop.
Okay. You got a presentation?
I do have a presentation, not to take extra time, but this is important and I want you all to know about it. Friday we went to the, so it's the Middle East Tennessee Tourism Council, METS. And they gave us a lot of really good data at their legislative luncheon, and because you all are legislators, I wanted to pass it on to you so you know. So some of the papers I put at your table, it shows you that in Monroe County, our tourism offset is $206, which means that every household in Monroe County pays $206 less in taxes because of the tourism revenue that is brought in to our county. The other thing, we belong to this METIS group, and there's 16 counties in the METIS group. I gave you a listing of the counties that are in there. And we are blessed to have 2 representatives on the METIS Council. So Blaine Vest, our Monroe County Tourism Director, represents Monroe County, and then we get to have a place as the City of Sweetwater on there. And you'll notice that the only other cities that have that have a representative are Knoxville and Oak Ridge. Knoxville, Oak Ridge, and Sevierville. So I think it's really good that Sweetwater has a place at the table among those people when it comes to tourism, because that's a pretty high bar. I just wanted you all to see that page. And then that group, the METIS group, does a number of things, one of which is give out awards. We'll get to that in a minute. But they have 3 pieces of legislation that they're trying to pass through the state legislature this next year, and I gave you a summary of each one of those bills. One of them I do not think will apply to us at all because it's only about occupancy tax in Davidson County. But the other 2 could affect us. Entertainment transportation bill says that they want to regulate some kind of transportation issue, which may or may not affect us, and they're supposed to send me more information on this. It's about noise control, safety control, transportation, things like that. Typically what they are pushing through is a good thing for us. The other thing is the swipe fee. Right now when you swipe your card at a hotel or an Airbnb, they're charging you for the total gross amount for the swipe fee, which includes taxes. And what they're saying is they should be applying that before the tax, making it pre-tax so that the swipe fee is not as hefty. So that's one of the other bills they're pushing. But the good part is we're going to have to build a bigger trophy case back there, y'all. So in 2017 when we hosted the Eclipse, well, tell them. I mean, some other people hosted the Eclipse too. It wasn't just in Sweetwater. But they created the Tourism Trailblazer Award in 2017 and gave it to Sweetwater in 2018. So they've now awarded this for the 2nd time, and they gave it to Sweetwater again for 2021 for hosting the Rural Tourism Rural Tourism Conference. The reason they gave us the award is because they said even though we don't have a facility like a conference area, we made do with what we had, and we hosted them downtown and at the Lossy and moved them around and took them to the church, and we figured it out. We said yes and we worked it out. So we got the Tourism Trailblazer Award. Monroe County also won an award for their passport publication, which is in our visitor center. It's a really neat publication. So they won, out of all these 16 counties that are doing amazing things in tourism, Monroe County took home 3 awards. You know, 1 was Sweetwater and then 2 from Monroe County. So I was really excited about that, and we were happy to represent y'all, and we'll just keep building on to that trophy case.
Good job. Good job. Okay, Mr. Wallenheimer, you got anything to say, update us or anything on? I'll give you the floor if you would like it.
Thank you. I would be delighted to give a brief update. First, I want to get to the important business and just say thank you. And I think it was said well a few minutes ago that Sweetwater has been a fantastic community to work with. This is a complicated project that we're working on, and there are many, many hurdles, to include the rain and occasionally global supply chain constraints, as Jessica mentioned. So it has not been an easy project, but as I have mentioned to others, Jessica included before, working with this community has been a phenomenal experience. I think it's been a great example of really in a lot of ways a public-private partnership. It just has worked so well. We are also working with TDEC, and we're working with the Army Corps of Engineers and TDOT and there's other stakeholders involved. But it's been a testament to how you can really get things done if people work together, communicate openly. We have relied heavily on the team here at Sweetwater, John, and before him Chuck, and Jessica in particular, to answer questions and just sort through all the nuance that's involved. We are currently on schedule. We are opening in phases, beginning as early as August. Again, it'll be in phases, so we will, if all continues to go well, we will begin storing material in the facility sometime around late August. We will begin opening up interior facilities as they become available. It's just it's a very large building, and because of that, we're having to sequence the construction in such a way that opens part of the building first as we continue completing other parts of the building. So thankfully, that has gone very, very well. I would say that the community has been phenomenal. I have met neighbors, farmers. We have some neighboring farmers who are currently they're cropping the land. Last year it was soybeans. I think they're going to do soybeans again this year. And it's just been a great way to, I think, illustrate for other communities in East Tennessee that these kinds of projects that can be done in Tennessee, they can be done well. And you have a commission and a mayor and other people in the city who are supportive, asking questions, asking the right questions, and being mindful of things like traffic and keeping roads clean. We all have to be mindful of those things, but to the extent that we are all trying to accomplish the same goal, it's a great testament, I think, to what we can do here in Tennessee at a bigger scale. And Sweetwater is really is setting an example of how that can be done very well. The second phase of this project, which we heard earlier tonight on the north side of Oakland, this was not something that we had originally planned within the scope of our project. We continued to realize that there were going to be, we actually started receiving questions from our own employees asking about places to eat and where can they, where might their kids go to school, et cetera, et cetera. And so we started to really look at kind of the broader canvas of Sweetwater and say, okay, well, you need a place to eat, you need a place for trucks to refuel, and there's some other services that can be rendered. And at that point, we reached out to Mr. Montoon and had some great conversations with him. And I appreciate you approving the rezoning request. I will now get hard at work trying to, I will get hard at work putting that on the market and letting people know that we have available acreage. And I fully expect that we will get commitments from companies who are willing to come in and invest alongside us in that exit. They've all been asking me, when's the final reading of rezoning, and that just occurred tonight. So again, it's just a great example of how we have to work together. The ping pong kind of gets batted back and forth. You guys did a great job serving it back to me, so now I can head back to my office and start sending out those emails. But I just want to say thank you to the community. As always, you can reach us if there's any concerns. We have what we call a hotline number, plastered on the signs along the road there. If there's ever a safety concern, or if there's ever dirt in the road, or anything that might be problematic, just let us know. And we will certainly address those issues as they come up. So just want to thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Mayor.
Glad to have you. Okay, got the thing on the dog park. Tully, you might want to put this in your #1 read newspaper in Monroe County, the Buzz. Dog park is, when's this going to be, probably?
So we should be scheduling a check presentation soon. I have to send this letter in. I have to get the mayor's signature tonight. We'll send this letter in, and then hopefully we'll be getting a nice big check from the Randy Boyd Dog Park Dash Foundation for $25,000 to start on our dog park. It is going to be on existing recreation property, so it'll be
Over there next to the softball field.
near the softball field. Yeah. Our
Okay,
first dog park.
is this something our people can do?
That's like second fence.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, they can, yeah, we will have interior labor doing at least some of it, yeah.
But Tim's good on those fences. He knows how to put those fences up. But anyway, the dog park is off the back burner, and just wanted to pass that along to you. Anything else come before the council? Been asking about the family rec center. Sammy, have we got any closer on some blueprints maybe? I know Sammy's been, he's covered up, and
there's a procedure that must be followed, and first you have to have an approved proposal. So we'll talk on that.
okay, I think we're ready to get started on this. From what I hear, this is a perfect example of not having a place to hold the tourism thing, this would be a perfect example that we could put that in play with that kind of thing. So, okay. All right, anything else? John, anything to report?
Which John?
John,
Big John? Gotta clarify now. No, I'm good.
Eddie?
Everything's fine, thanks, sir.
Okay, good deal. Tim?
All the sports organizations have kicked off, so baseball, softball, soccer's,
Soccer, when's baseball sign up?
They already have them.
they're doing tryouts now. They've started practices.
Okay. John Campbell?
Everything's going great, really busy, getting a lot of calls each and every day, a lot of folks moving in, wanting to be here, be a part of Sweetwater, so it's a good thing.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I'll mention one more thing since you're talking about tourism. One thing I neglected to mention, we actually had participants from 20 different states at that race last year. And I thought that was really well. I should mention it earlier.
Thank you.
Wow.
Bring him back this year.
Absolutely. We may have already booked some rooms ourselves to get ahead. Just in case.
Okay, all lines clear, we are adjourned. Thank you for being